Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges. Welcome to this episode of Single Moms Doing It All. This is Muriel Felous, your host. And today our guest is also a single mom, but I will tell you all about her in just a minute. Before we start, I want to remind you that I have a kit for moms on my website. It's a 3-part kit to go back to peace, and it involves an energy side, a brain tool, and a tapping session. So if you didn't grab it yet, now is the time to grab it because it will help you immensely. Today, my guest is a single mom and she's an author. Her name is Lindsi Richards. She's a single mother of twins from Kailua, Hawaii, now residing in Los Angeles, California, and the author of the new children's book, A Tuesday Kind of Love, which helps young children understand the positive impact of parental separations. And I will tell you, we'll mention where you can grab her book and her website and all that a little bit later in the interview, but I want to welcome her formally. Hi, Lindsi, how are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm happy to have you here. First of all, because for us single moms, I am launching a series of episodes called The Realm of All Possibilities, because so many moms who think they can't go for their dream as single moms. Right. And you are an example that you actually can do whatever you want, single mom or not. So let's just start with that.
Everyone can do it.
Yeah, it's inspiring for other moms, even if you have to dedicate like an hour a day to writing your book or whatever, you can do it.
Yes, you just wait till they go to sleep.
Exactly. And in my case, they're teenagers. Sometimes they go to sleep later than me in some.
Oh, yeah.
But I take it in the morning when they sleep.
Yeah, it's harder for the teens because they just want to be with you. They're like, I don't have to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with, how did the book come about? What made you write that book? What's your story with separation and divorce?
Okay. Yeah, so I am a product of divorce. My parents got divorced when I was 12. And so it was a really horrible divorce. And I just always promised myself I wasn't going to do that if I had a family. And so I kind of made it in my mind, I'm just not going to get married. But things change, of course. Life happens. And I got pregnant with the father of my kids, and we were engaged and almost married. But, you know, life happens in a way that you really can't expect. You can't have any expectations. You have to just let it flow and let life come to you, and whatever comes to you is meant. And my children were meant to come from that situation, and I'm so grateful. But I just thought, I want something for them to go back to have a story that is special to their heart, that they feel connected to, that they feel like important enough to where mommy would want to introduce something about positive separation for them to understand better, you know, because I mean, I have 4-year-olds, but even in teenagers, you're so confused at life because you're just experiencing it really for the first time. Your teen years are like, I know everything. I'm finally understanding life, but you know, it's not until I think your 30s you understand life.
It's sometimes very, very late, and sometimes you don't understand all of it.
Right, but you just want to introduce things to them to make them, you know, understand that positivity is so powerful, and it can create a whole new life for yourself without taking things personal, or like just a lot of different ways to make your life positive. And so I just wanted to introduce that to them at a very young age. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to write a book for my kids. I just Googled it, honestly, and I just did it. I worked for a whole 1.5 years on it. And I finally released it this year, like right when COVID happened. So,
Oh no.
but it's perfect timing actually,
Yeah.
because everybody's at home reading. So, but I read to my kids every night, and I just thought I want to make a story for them that, you know, makes them feel special and makes them feel loved and makes them feel like it's okay. And it's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's better to have two homes for so many reasons. You get to adapt differently in life. You get to learn so many different experiences in life because you have two separate homes, two separate opinions, two separate everything, you know, and you get two Christmases, you get
Yeah.
a lot of things that some people don't even have one of. So that's what I kind of go back to, is like, we are so blessed to have two houses. We are so blessed to have two families that can co-parent and work on it every day, because it's a lot of work. I mean, it's constant work.
It is. And that's funny because when I divorced, my youngest was 2. So that's an angle I took too with my kids. Although my situation was kind of different because, well, their father has issues where it wasn't ideal and it wasn't really emotionally healthy. But I really emphasize the fact that you can feel differently than a victim of divorce. And
Absolutely.
that's what I really wanted to do for
Yeah.
my kids. So that was one of your goals as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you have the power to create a better life for yourself. You just have to start with yourself, which is hard. You know, you have to do a lot of self-work.
But it's very important because the story you tell yourself about what happened is what is going to determine the way you see life.
Absolutely.
And you can have two people going through the same thing. One will be empowered, the other one will stay a victim.
Right.
So, I mean, that's an amazing thing that you did to start for your kids alone.
Yeah, thank you. I think doing things by example is so huge for kids. Just showing them that even though mommy and daddy are not together, we still have respect and appreciation for each other because we have you guys. It's like, you made us be able to share an unconditional love. So why not appreciate that forever? And why not build on that gratitude instead of the anger and the hardships of why we're not together? It's like, okay, we're not together, so let's focus on how we can continue to appreciate each other and continue to show our kids, like, some people grow apart and that's okay, but we all need to continue to spread more love and more appreciation for each other and more gratitude for the little things, you know?
And it's crucial, especially in America. I think the rate of divorce is like 60%.
Oh yeah. It's like, it's just normal now.
Yeah, it's not out of the norm anymore. So feeling normal about it is the best thing to do. I know your kids are young, but how did they react when did they realize that it was you and the book that you're holding to read to them is you wrote it?
Yeah. So when I was making it, I had them in the process of making it so that they would really understand. And then finally, when it came in and they saw it, they're like, oh my gosh, Mom's book. But I still don't know if they know that I wrote it. I think they just think I like drew the pictures or something.
But that's cool. That's very cool because they will. Yeah. They will.
Yeah. And they brought it to their preschool when it was.
Oh, wow.
Because I released it in February, but it came out in March. So they were still in preschool. And they were just so proud. Like, they were showing all their teachers, like, this, mommies. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are melting me. But that's why I did it, you know, and I want them to share it with their friends that have separated parents and be like, well, it's okay. You know, we get the best of our parents now. Our parents get to be the better versions of themselves, you know?
Yeah. So what kind of example or perception or definition of separation did you put in the book that could actually apply to kids who are 4 or to teenagers? What kind of reality version do you propose there that could be applied to any age, actually?
I think just understanding and seeing that people grow apart and that change is literally the only constant thing in life. And so if you can take control of an emotion and look at it in a in a bigger view for let's say a teen, like Sam, 12 or 13 when my parents got divorced. I was in such a horrible place because I saw how mad they were at each other.
Okay.
And so, like I said, setting an example of seeing your parents as a teen still be able to make a situation a better situation by separating themselves and understanding it's better for the kid if we are on agreement of we have to show appreciation and co-parent. We have to be able to show our kids, like, this is what being mature is. This is what being not so deep in your emotions that you can't make any decisions. And I mean, that takes a lot. I mean, that's going to take a lot of work, but just being open to knowing that you feel everything really harshly, and then you evaluate and you assess and then you reevaluate. It's just, you have steps in life to understand that change is going to happen, and you just, the way you react to change is how you can make yourself a better person, in my opinion. I just feel like, again, it's just constant work. You just always have to be aware of your emotions and how you can react in a better way. And maybe not even react, but
respond. Yeah.
Respond. Yeah, there you go. I love that.
Because so when you're teaching them to embrace change, which is inevitable in life, whether we're talking about divorce or anything, and to really learn to listen to their emotions and give themselves a version of the story that they tell themselves that will support them instead of playing against them.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I think it even works because sometimes parents get along, and like maybe it seems to be in your case where you co-parent in a pretty peaceful way. Is that your experience with it? Like, are you?
So it's been a roller coaster, to be completely honest with you. And I think more people need to speak up about that, because I think people think, oh, you're so positive, everything's fine. But in reality, I mean, you have to consciously be aware of that they're watching you. The kids are watching you at all times. So, there's times where I'll say something and then immediately be like, I just shouldn't have said that, and I apologize. Yeah. So taking responsibility for your actions is another way of co-parenting in a positive way. But I mean, I'll go months of us being amazing. We're having such good communication, and then one situation might blow it up. And I think that's just because of the pain that you bring each other in a divorce or in a separation really never goes away, but it's just working on focusing more on the gratitude of what they taught you and what they brought to your life, Yeah,
that's a healing process, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
And what's great about people who listen to me know my story. I went down when we were talking about being positive and things happening anyway. I was spiraling into depression, but the positive side and the self-work will help you bounce back faster. That's what it does, because stuff will happen anyway.
Yes. It makes you very resilient, and resilience is the best thing in life, I feel.
Yes.
Because things are going to happen to you all the time, and you can be as positive as you want, but life is going to happen. You just have to look at it in a bigger picture of, well, what am I going to learn from this, and how can I help other people learn from it, from my experience.
And what is great in what you just said is that, so let's say you had a reaction that wasn't the best, which happens to all of us.
Yes.
And by you acknowledging and actually acknowledging it to your kids, and you are also giving them permission to make mistakes.
And I love that.
Okay about that.
I love that. Yes. Because it's so important for them to understand that mistakes are how you learn and how you experience life. And they have to make their own mistakes. They can't just see what you've done, and that's hard as a mom. I feel for a lot of people to understand, like, you got to let your kids make their mistakes.
That's the hardest part, because when they're young, mistakes are different. When they're getting older, the mistakes can become potentially very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And
Yeah.
learning to be at peace and navigating that with, in my case, trust, because I teach women to co-parent with the universe. Trust that you can do what you can do. You can never protect 100%. You're not God. You're not the infinite intelligence, but they are also connected to that. The same way that you get your guidance and your protection from that, they also are. And
so trust that they know that they have that to tap into.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I wish they would teach that in school.
Me too. Me too. That's why we got to teach them young.
Yes.
Teach them to be open.
But it's never even too late. Even if there are mothers who listen now and they didn't teach it when they were young, it's never too late. Never.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm still learning things now that I can't wait to teach them when they're a little bit older, because they're too young now to really fully grasp what I'm saying. But I think that's the beauty of being positive, is learning every single day something new about yourself, something new about the world, and just being excited and kind of having that childlike feeling of, I'm getting better as a human, and I want to just share this with everyone, that everyone can feel this, that everyone has the power to feel good and to continue to feel good. And that's another reason why just spread more love and appreciation for everyone, you know?
Yeah, that's huge. So writing the book, I know that usually when we do something, I know when I do my podcast, always in the same week, let's say we're talking about a topic, in the same week, life will bring me either a kick in the butt or something that relates to that topic. And I learn so much more, and that way I can help more.
Yeah.
While writing this book, what was the effect on you? How did it bring you new lessons maybe, or new ways of feelings, or?
It made me want to be better, honestly. It made me want to work harder on being a good co-parent and actually following through with what my words say, you know, because words are so powerful. I mean, they make our world, you know. But it definitely challenged myself to really go into what I wanted my kids to feel out of this, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I wanted them to feel that mommy did go through something, but she came out of it better, you know? And I hope that my book portrays that, or kind of gives that message of, it's always going to be okay, no matter what. And
that's reassuring.
Yeah,
because
I just want everyone to feel that it's always going to be okay.
Even teens, they go through so much, especially nowadays with social medias and everything. And sometimes they're not sure that it's all going to be okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Sending that message can actually save a life.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah. One of my friends actually, she messaged me and said, you know, I'm going to send this to I think he was probably 17, but she said, I know it's a children's book, but I'm going to send it to him because he's going through it. His parents just got divorced and he's really not okay right now. And she's like, I just feel like it might make him smile or laugh. And I said, I started tearing up. Like, that's exactly what I wrote this for. I just want people to feel inspired that there's still love and there's still, you know, I mean, the special connection that you make when you make a child
it's magical.
It's magical. And if you can hone in on that and take away, like, not attach yourself to the pain and just attach yourself, or maybe not even attach yourself to anything, but just focus on the joy that you had making that child, and like how much joy that child brings to both of you, and focus on that instead of focusing on what you did to me and how bad you hurt me. It's like, look at what we made. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is what humans are for, to create life and to just produce more love.
Yes. And that's funny because you said your friends was going to send it to a teenager, and I was going to tell you that there are books. I don't know if you know The Little Prince from Antoine Saint-Exupéry.
Uh-huh.
So that's one of my favorite books because it's a book that may seem that it was written for kids,
Mm-hmm.
but there is so much under it in between the line for adults.
Yes.
So maybe your book can be something like that because maybe it tells a story. So how is it done? So I understand because I unfortunately I didn't have a copy, but was it like a story that you tell, and behind the story there is a blueprint that can help you in self-growth? How is it structured?
Yeah, I mean, I could read the last page because the last page is kind of like the last 2 pages. Yeah, it's kind of exactly what I was just saying. I said, it says, the love they shared when they made Lily and Coy are the kids in the book, would never go away. It was now just a little different. The family grew stronger and better for each other with a new normal. That Tuesday kind of love changed a little, but it came back into her heart. Lonnie and Kanoa proved to the jungle there is no perfect way to love. Love is understanding, forgiving, and respectful. It can still be powerful and pure, even if you set it free. So I think just the message is, love is forgiving and understanding. It's not supposed to be painful and
It gave me chills.
oh, thank you.
Because you know how so many people get prisoners of their own version of love, that it has to resemble something.
Exactly.
And they don't give themselves permission, whether it is in love with kids, because everybody's different, with friendship. They don't give themselves permission to enjoy what is, because it doesn't resemble the model that we've been imposed on us.
Exactly.
So that gives you freedom.
Yeah, their agreement of love is tarnished, and I think that's what I want to share, is it can still be so powerful and pure. You just set it free. You have to know that when you love something unconditionally, there's no attachment. It's just pure soul. It's pure love. It's in your body. So that's never going to go away.
And that's I think that's very important at all level. So we get freer in our version of life.
Right. And stop allowing other people's opinions and other people's decisions that they've made for their life affect how we want to. And I think that's why it's so important for teens and for kids to understand this at a young age of, I may see things and I may have agreements that my parents have taught me, but I still have the ability to change and make myself better and make myself actually happy, no matter what that may be, even if it's not what my mom wants for me. I think that's important to show your kids, is something for me may not be for you. And that's also very okay. And I think to embrace that and just allow your children to feel everything that they want to feel, and just be there to listen. And that's difficult.
That's difficult, but because I'm in the trenches here with teenagers, and some of my kids don't necessarily fit the model. One of my kids stopped high school in the middle of her senior year. I had to find an online school, and it was chaotic, but she graduated. She did a 180 and put the work and graduated. And so
awesome.
Removing the fear as a mom.
Yes.
And leaving space to what needs to unfold, because otherwise you strangle it. It's like a flower. You're going to kill it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fear is very, very powerful.
It is. And it can fuel you or it can destroy you.
Right. I always tell my kids, I say, fear is a choice, danger is real.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But sometimes the choice is not even conscious.
No.
And to me, it's just working with that fear, becoming friends with it, seeing the message.
Yes. That's what I feel is so important to teach our children. I mean, because if they have the ability to understand that, yes, I'm going to feel fear and it's okay, and I can embrace it and figure out how to move past it, they're going to be incredible adults. I mean, I wish I had that when I was young.
Yeah. Well, in another life, maybe.
Right.
So what's your vision for your book? Do you have, I know it's published now.
Mhm.
Do you have a vision for it? Like, like sometimes we have crazy dreams.
Yeah.
What's your vision? We
Honestly,
can might as well put it out there in the universe.
yeah, it was really, I didn't have much besides, I just wanted it for my kids.
Okay.
And once I kind of realized, wow, it can actually maybe impact people and inspire people, I started visioning like me doing a lot of readings at schools, or I did a recording for this school called I think it's like Learning Spring School, and it's kids with autism. And it was just it was so, like, I could cry thinking about it. It was so nice to just understand how much a little story can change someone's whole day or change someone's whole life,
Yeah.
And it's so important for us to be sensitive to everyone's feelings and everyone's situations, and just know that a small ounce of positivity or a small ounce of love or a hug or just any type of connection is so important in life. And
So, so I guess, oh, you're
people,
cutting. You cut out. So what were you saying? You said it's so important, and
what did I say? And I guess writing down and actually printing out words that are very positive and powerful, it gave me a whole new
yeah.
vision of what I could actually do. And so maybe, gosh, I don't know. That's a really hard question.
Oh, I didn't want to trap you with a question. I'm sorry. No, that's okay. I mean, sometimes the vision develops itself as you
Right.
go, and you
Yeah.
start somewhere and you end up where life is taking you. Like just
I mean, I never thought I would be on a podcast, and here I am. So
yeah.
I'm so grateful.
And for me, sometimes not everybody has practiced their imagination enough, and sometimes moms don't have the right answer to know what to say when kids complain about the separation. So it can even be a fun book for moms to give them ideas because I'm sure you have in your story a version of telling it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
this advantage and that advantage, so it can give ideas to moms who don't
Yes.
really know what to respond. Because I know as a mom, my kids, when they came with, there was the separation and way bigger issues
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation. But it helps for a mom to know when your kid is coming to you with questions, big questions.
Yes.
You're not sure how to answer that. Maybe
Yes.
stories like that, even if it's a teen, it gives you, your stories are powerful. We've
Very
been
powerful.
telling stories for thousands of years. There is a reason. So even for a mom to order the book and give yourself ideas, and from those ideas you will have more ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely never thought that I would be an author. So that alone kind of creates a bigger vision and kind of creates more variety of spreading love and spreading just more appreciation for co-parenting and how difficult it is, and how we can highlight that single moms like your podcast are literally doing it all. They have to do their self-work in order to be a better mom. But I mean, one thing I really have learned to appreciate is the break that I get from being a co-parent. And I think if more moms would view that in a positive way and not so much guilt, because at first I was so guilty of like, I miss my kids, I should be with my kids, why are my kids with me?
Yes.
And now I'm finally, as I'm healing myself, I'm understanding that that time is so precious and so important to make me a better mom when I actually get them back, that I mean, some moms never get a break ever.
the case with me was that my kids ended up being mostly with me.
Mhm.
And I know that some moms wish they could have a break. And for the ones who have, it's really dedicating that time to the woman, not the mom, the woman.
Right.
That's super important.
Yeah. Or you'll lose yourself. I mean,
Yes.
you have to connect back to the human that you are, and then figure out how you can be a better person for yourself, because when you're better for yourself, you're better for your kids.
Yeah. And for the world.
For the world, right.
My belief is that if everybody could, and that's perfect segue for the next question, if everybody could love themselves
Yeah.
and really at a deep level, it would bring peace all over the
Oh,
planet.
I 100% agree.
And so my question, because a lot of women that I come across in my coaching or in the podcast, or they don't even know what self-love means to them. So I love to ask my guests what it means to you, because that way it gives ideas. It's so broad. It's a broad
Yeah.
thing.
I think self-love to me right now in my life is accepting and acknowledging that I'm always going to learn and get better. And I want to get better. And there's never like a perfect platform of, okay, I'm here. It's like, no, I'm always going to work harder to be better, because there's always something I can learn. There's always something that can enhance my positivity or enhance my vision of life, and being a better mom, or being a better friend, or being a better human, you know. But yeah, just accepting, because that's a hard part in self-love, is accepting yourself fully for everything that you come with, and acknowledging how great you are at certain things and what maybe you need to work on, but still acknowledging how hard you're working, and how great that is in general. Just to work on yourself is a huge accomplishment, because tapping into who you really are is a very intense feeling, and it's
Yes.
a vibration that some people just are scared of, you know.
And I think people who are scared to see who they are, it's because they are so harsh with themselves. There is too much self-judgment.
And too much trauma. Sometimes they have trauma that they're not even aware of.
Yeah.
It's so deep in them that their self-conscious is like, or their subconscious is telling them, don't go deep in there, because you know there's crazy stuff in there.
And that's, yeah. And that's, yeah, I see that a lot when we work with, I don't know if you know what tapping is, like emotional freedom technique. It
Yeah.
helps. So I see that with clients and moms where memories would come back that they didn't even know they were carrying and pushing under the surface for so long. Yeah. And that,
Once it releases, they just feel like
yeah,
lighter, and just
weight is off.
know that they needed to release that.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of self-work, is there's so much to unravel, and it's exciting.
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
No.
Right. And you get to fully like learn yourself and kind of fall in love with yourself.
Yes.
Through all of that.
And that's good for your kids, because we are models, like you were saying, where more than what we say, they even are more impacted with who we are and what we do.
Right.
That's crucial. Where can people find the book if they want to buy it?
So it was on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but since COVID is going on, they're taking that. I don't know if they're taking it completely down, but it's available on bookbaby.com.
Okay.
And then my website, just a tuesdaykindoflove.com.
Okay. And I'll put that in the description.
Okay.
So before we part, is there something you want to leave mothers with? We said a lot here, but if there is one thing you would like to emphasize and let them.
Yeah, I think really be gentle with yourself, and be sensitive to how hard you are on yourself, because I know all of us moms have mom guilt. I know all of us moms go through like, I could be better at this. Oh, I just messed up at that. It's like the fact that you woke up and you're alive is an accomplishment. You know, like you're doing such a good job, and continue to acknowledge that in yourself by just being a mom, just creating another life. You are an incredible human being. You created life. You should be so proud of yourself. and so you just be more gentle. That's really what I want for other women and moms to understand. It's like, we are incredible. We are so powerful. We are so loved. We're just amazing. Let's spread more of that.
Yeah, we're magnificent, I always say.
Yeah, we're
It's
goddesses.
yes, coming back to that. Yeah, we are energy beings, and we're just learning to tap into that power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, Lindsi, for being part of the podcast today.
Yes, thank you.
And for having the idea of writing the book, because like I said, it can give ideas to moms how to approach those discussions that are heavy and hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So did you have a bird, by the way? I thought I heard a bird.
There might be. I have a family of birds.
That's good. No, I love it. I really love it. Before we go, I just want to say goodbye to my audience and let you know that we'll be here next week. I don't know yet with what, because it's, I record in advance, and we'll see what I feel to put after this episode. God will tell me, the universe. So go and be gentle with yourself and love yourself. Yeah. Bye for now. Mwah. Being a single mom can be challenging, but you don't have to face it alone. Join our community at facebook.com/groups/single and doing it all, and receive tools, tips, and free group coaching. And if you like this podcast, please review and rate us on iTunes. I would really appreciate it.